Okay.
I think the last layout that she had, it looks like all the clubs are going to be on the way out because that's where we have a big. And the people that usually are in that area do really well and have good visibility, but the back is primarily going to be, or people in the middle of the circles is primarily for snacks, hydration, extra boxes so that you can hand people boxes if you
like
need them, like a tray or something like that. And then you'll have chairs. So I think we're doing two chairs per table.
You did last year.
Yeah, she's figuring that out too, because we have vendors that don't need chairs, like portable chairs. We'll have plenty of chairs.
Chairs. Okay. So if we just do 4 inches, I mean, maybe, I don't know.
But even if you've got normal, and then you've got.
Yeah, so we're still gonna have like regular price, and then we're gonna have like premium rare stuff that's gonna be priced more, but at least kind of, I guess, sorting them on the table is all gonna be just 4-inch pots, and then our patients
So
are.
they have a color code. I mean, do you guys assign, color sticks to people?
No, how do your price tags work? You guys pre-print those, or we have to make those?
You just make your own price tags.
Like, and we just need to put our name or like logo on it so you know it's ours.
So we usually went by, last year we had our vendors use specific initials, and then we keep track of those initials.
Okay, so we can just
That's
use.
2 sticks in each pot,
There's
right?
2 sticks in each pot.
One's a name, one sticks the name, or species, or cultivar.
Yeah.
The second one's the price tag, which they keep when the person checks out, and that way they know who's.
Who has the Ohio
Yeah,
Society or something on it.
it's just gonna be like COADS probably.
Yeah, whatever you guys decide.
Okay, so
Yeah, because we have very few, like Bill Hendricks, his are always recognizable. This is bright yellow and he gives me special name.
okay. So let me just update this for doing. Okay. So does this look okay? We order a case of the 4-inch assorted Rex and Marzia. I don't know. I'm doing a kind of conservative order just so we don't have like tons of leftovers. I mean, if we
So
sell
you have tons of leftovers left at the Jared sale.
yeah, not so much of the Harmony, but the other ones that we got from the Cincinnati that were like Boliviensis and the Greifens. Those I had a ton of those, like giving away, you know, because I had a bunch of leftovers. Just because Chadwick, they already sell a bunch of like tuberous stuff for cheap. Okay, so a case of the regular Rex and Rhizomatous 4 inches. A case of their premium rare species, 30, and then 2 cases, which is 24 of their, I don't know, originals and 24 premiums, but times those by, which I don't know if we're splitting those up, but that's too many because we're gonna times the 24 by 3, so it's almost, I mean, it's 72. That's a lot of cans. So maybe just 1 case of each?
Of the cans.
Yeah, which, oh, I need to, oh, that's what's throwing it off. Oh, that's what's throwing it off.
Referring to her pricing.
Oh, it's really
This is what's throwing it off. I need to, okay, if we're ordering 1 case, it's really 36, because that's throwing off my sales subtotal. 36. So that's good, because we're still, if we sell everything, the sales subtotal is 2,000 minus that, and then 20. No, I don't know. We still only make $400.
Yeah, you gotta pay the 20% too.
Yeah, this 20%. So I'm like,
So I think that's what
I mean, we're only making $400 profit in the end. I mean,
If you sell everything.
if we sell everything, and that's not even including this, if we have to pay 7% sales tax to Harmony.
So what is the price of the regular ones is gonna be 4, and then the premium rare, or it's gonna be 12, and then the premium rares are gonna be 22 each for 4-inch?
That's what I kind of came up with, so for a 4-inch, if they're full 4-inch pot, we would sell for $12.
And then I don't understand, because you said, what, a case is 36, but
No, the case is 12, but we're splitting them up because there's 3 in there, so I just had to change it to 36, so it would
okay.
do my sales stuff right.
It's an hour. Yeah, that's.
Okay, and then where is the cost for potting mix and pots?
This is kind of that
Do you want
did not get included, so there's still
it? I just don't want
that. I mean, I can basically I have a big thing of
it. You can
potting
have all
soil,
that.
but we probably need to order some nice 4-inch pots, because all I have are just like recycled pots.
Right.
Do you want to write this one?
So I guess that's like the $20, I was thinking like, just order some nice 4-inch azalea pots, off Amazon or something.
Sorry, I'm not right.
So,
Would anybody like a owl?
oh, wait, I think this is throwing it off, because now I'm getting charged. You know what, this is getting, the way I have it set up, it's throwing it off weird.
Oh, because you're getting.
Because of that, because the 12, so we're initially ordering just the 12 plants, $250 for shipping, but then I needed to multiply by 36. So it's not that. Okay, so it's only $675 is our expenses, for plants. Yeah, plus another 25, so 700 expenses, not including any sales tax if we have to pay that.
So the sales.
So here. What is it? So really, it's only 2,000 minus 700, a subtotal of 1,300 minus 200. Okay, that's better. Because, okay, so our subtotal, if we sell everything, is about 2,000. Oh wait, 20% of that is 400. So it's 2,000 minus 400. 1,600 minus 700 was our plant cost before I redid it. So that's 900 profit in the end. So that's not bad if we do it like this. I'm sorry, it's wonky to show this the way I have this spreadsheet, but. And then plus our additional plants that we're we're gonna have a few dozen of our own, which. I mean, I guess at this sale, are we agreed we're just donating our plants, or were you planning on keeping a percentage?
No.
You were just gonna do a full donation?
Yeah, no, every plan is 100% for the group.
Yeah, and that's what I was thinking for the ones I was gonna contribute. Janelle, are you planning on contributing?
Yeah.
You're gonna have some?
Yeah.
Okay,
Together.
so,
So this year, we're just gonna say that the propagated plants that members bring are gonna be donations to the club?
yeah, until we're like big enough where we have our own show sale where we're inviting other vendors and members can have their own tables, and then they do this 20% or something. Okay,
So how many plants total is that?
this that will have, so 60 plus 120, 132 4-inch pots. And then a couple, Janelle and I will have a couple dozen of our own at the cactus recycling, and then he's gonna take, if there's any leftovers from our sale up, and he's gonna have a couple dozen of his own propagations that he's gonna sell. So I think in the end, we should make, after everything, if we don't have to pay it, if we can get around paying the 7% sales tax in Harmony, we should make like around 1,000, which is all we need for which is more than what we need for the year.
Okay.
The only thing is, like, I'm gonna, the Harmony order, I'm probably gonna have to like put on my check or credit card, and then the club reimburses me
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because we don't have 300 in the bank.
How are we gonna pay for this?
That's gonna be me, it's gonna be on me again, and then I'll just, I'll write myself a reimbursement check once we get this handling.
So then I think this year we should also track your plant sold, and your plant sold as your donations to the club too. We should recognize that you're major contributors to the club, right? I mean, it should be tracked, right? Because, and also we can get a receipt for a 501c3 donation if we're going under the American Legal Society 501c3, which can be very helpful, right?
For tax purposes.
I don't know, last time I tried to get my accounts, I'm like, hey, here's donations I made to nonprofits, they're like, it's like,
Yeah, but you have to make a lot.
yeah, and it's
I
like,
mean, you have to be in the
I just like this
2,000
range.
range for it to make a difference. But if you're making a donation and it translates to a few $100s for the club, it can make a difference in your,
I think it's a word, I mean, we're done, it's like, no, you should take the, and I've tried it in the past, and like, my account was like, no,
Yeah,
just take the regular, whatever. Okay, so that's what I'll do, okay, so we're gonna go ordering through Baker's Acres, and I'm gonna talk to Nick to see if he can kind of like put the order in for us, so we don't have to pay the sales tax. And then we'll get them for the April 15th, I'll confirm that that's the date. Janelle and I can go.
They're here,
What's that?
April 15th, or here, or that's when they're ordered.
No, that's when the truck is supposed to be delivered, arrive. It might be off a day or so, so I'll have to like
Okay,
check in to
around
make
that.
sure.
Okay.
Do we need to reconfirm with the Caxton Cycling Club that like, hey, we're selling, or we already have a table, we're good?
Tatiana should be.
She's reached out to me, so
Yeah.
I told her we were
Yeah.
definitely.
Tatiana's taking care of all that stuff.
Just confirm if it's like, they're 8-foot tables,
Yeah, that I do.
I guess that's fine. Do we wanna invest in like better signage, like a banner, or like we had those laminated signs, which they're a little gunked up, which we could just make more of those, and
Well,
I guess we could talk about this at the next meeting.
Yeah, I mean, that's not a priority at this point, because,
Okay, so we're all good. I know you've got a little, and we're
I mean, it's kind of
yapping
late for
about
that
this for a
now.
while. I'm gonna go ahead and do this, the one case of regular 4-inch, one case of the premium, one case of the Cane Originals, one case of the Cane Premiums. We're gonna get through Baker's, I'm gonna try to wiggle out of the 7% tax. Janelle and I will kind of coordinate the pickup of those, and if we need help, people to help us like with potting the canes. And I will order some like cheap but nice, just uniform 4-inch pots off Amazon for the repotting. I think I might have enough tags, although is it best if we stick to all the same color? No.
Yes.
Same color. I guess we can,
If possible,
at least for the price
at
tag,
least for the price tags.
stick with the same color.
Yeah, and if you could make it 2 separate colors, so that it's easily identifiable which one the price tag is, it makes it so much easier for the checkout people not to miss them.
Okay. So I guess us as the sales fundraising committee, that's probably like something we'll figure out.
If you tell me how many sticks that you want, I do a bulk order at the beginning of April, into March, beginning of April for stuff I do through the year.
Yeah.
I just get like little.
I mean, I have a big one from Amazon, but it's like 6 different colors of like, I don't know if it's 50 of each color or 100 of each color, but I've never used.
I've got hundreds of color and non-color tags.
Yeah.
And check with me too, because I might have all the costumes too.
Oh, like unused
Yeah, I
orange.
have readers.
Oh, okay.
So I have a huge storage bin, or storage, I have like a 26 foot
We're
storage.
just hoarding a bunch of
full of-
materials.
I've got pots you can sit in. But, I have a whole, I have crates and crates in my house right now that I check crates and check.
Okay,
I definitely have 3-inch ones, so if you wanna just say 3-inch pots, some would say this.
yeah.
I definitely have 3-inch ones that are unused, that are good.
Janelle, can you loop me in on it? Are you emailing with Tatiana or texting?
Yeah, messaging, yeah.
Oh, like DMing or?
She got my email, so.
Oh, okay, if it's an email, just saying, could you like copy me on it?
Okay,
And then,
okay.
I don't know if you're planning to make it. Well, yeah, it'd have to be, we would need to get them in March or April, because that's when we're gonna.
Right now, I'm not sure if I'm gonna be here in March, I'll definitely be ready.
Okay. Yeah, so we would need, well, we need them by like mid-April.
I mean, I can send it to you.
Or we just should.
Yeah, I can send it to you. So you gotta pay for shipping.
Say again?
Pay for shipping.
As long as that, yeah, that should be cheaper than ordering there. Okay.
Okay.
Uh,
Yeah, I'll talk to Sally Saval.
So that
But this thing is.
sounds good.
Sanction just doesn't belong or anything.
Any other-
They would know how to do.
Okay.
Anything else really, as a follow.
Okay, we're wrapped on that. We know what we're doing.
All right. Cool. So, apparently this stream was muted, so I don't know if we got a large amount of that. Because I haven't messed around with this. Sequoia was the one who did it last time. So that's my fault. But anyway,
Oh, is it unmuted now for your presentation?
I think it's unmuted. I don't know.
Is it streaming someplace?
On YouTube. If you go to the Central Ohio Begonias, I think is the name of it. It's just Ohio Begonias. Yeah. But I mean, it really doesn't matter at this point, right? So, all right, so that's the fees, or not fees, but the show stuff.
Yeah.
Get this, there it is. Chadwick's, greenhouse. Okay, so this is the other section I wanted to do. I guess we're just scratching this out at this point. The volunteer growers.
You are unmuted.
I am unmuted?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
I can hear you.
Awesome. So let's see. Does anybody here? I'm gonna put it on the Facebook too. So, does anybody here want to specifically volunteer for the Central Ohio Cats and Sucking?
Oh, well, Janelle's already planning on being there.
Okay, so you'll be there.
I can do,
Okay.
I mean, I can help us set up on Friday, because I'll probably have to bring plants anyways. And I can do like a half, is it an 8 hour? Sorry.
It's 10 to 4.
Okay, so it's, I mean, I can do like a half, I mean, I'll do like a second shift breakdown.
Yeah, I can do some, I mean, I'll probably be there again for the Orchid Society, but I
Could you do
the 2-hour shifts rather than 4, I mean, that's a long time.
No, like a 3 hour, it's a 6 hour, right?
10 to 4, yes.
So the 3 hour shift,
Yeah. If you don't, yeah, it's up to them, you put it on, but.
and we should probably have at least like 2 people there.
Yeah, Tatiana was saying we should probably at least have 2.
Yeah, so I can do Friday setup, and then I'll do the 3 to 6, the second half on
I'll do
Saturday.
Friday setup and then whatever's needed.
Yeah,
can definitely do setup. I need to check if we'll be in town.
Okay.
I
Can you get that? Did you get all that written down?
Okay, I'm gonna just take this.
Definitely Friday setup, and I have to check if we'll be in town.
Janelle and
But
Elizabeth.
I'll definitely, if we are, we can come Saturday. Yeah.
Friday. Saturday. Nancy, are you saying you can do like the 10 to 1?
I don't know, I don't know what I do for the Orchid Society.
Oh.
So, yeah, I can do whatever, but I think 3
So you were breaks.
Well, no, I mean, you-
breaks.
you were there for 3, it was a long 3 hours for you last year.
I think it was because I was right by the door and it was kind of chilly.
Yeah.
And like there was, just, I mean, we were just doing like a sign up, so it was like not a lot of action.
Yeah, we have more space now, so we can do stuff.
Yeah, there's gonna be more
Yeah, I can, so I just don't know, I don't know who's gonna volunteer, but, you know, we haven't talked, the Orchid Society hasn't talked about it, including having, the board hasn't
Well,
heard
and
anything about
we've
that.
got some time to decide.
Yeah, we can also discuss more Friday.
I can help set up,
We
yeah,
set up,
and I'll check out work. I can come up with it.
Saturday,
I'd like to do
Okay.
wait. You said it's 10 to 4? Or 10 to? Okay, okay, so 10 to 1 and then 1 to 4. Somebody might think this, okay. Okay, so a couple of people are checking your schedule, so we could people Saturday morning and then one other person with me the afternoon part. Okay.
Well, are you guys are you two babysitting the plants after that one too? So the two of you should do the late shifts, right? Because
Yeah, well, I'm
you're
hoping-
cleaning up and taking plants home.
We're gonna be babysitting beforehand. Hopefully there's not gonna be that much to babysit afterwards, so if it's just me taking stuff. We're not even baby, because we're potentially handing them off to him the next day at our meeting, so it's not gonna be that big of a deal. We'll figure it out.
Okay, cool. So we got that written down for volunteers. Sorry. So the next thing, I am going to talk to the society about the plan, or sorry, the American Society about our plan to kind of develop our own identity. As you know, we're not the same thing as them functionally. Same thing with like San Fran or the one in Texas. They like kind of have their own identity, as well as their own people. And that's what, based on that feedback, I'm going to be designing, and I'll put up so everybody can see on the Facebook and via email, so that we can kind of judge like what kind of designs we like, what we want to go through. And this is just going to be an ongoing process, probably once a week or something, until the end of March. At least that's just the plan for now. Next, I do have these two people to interview. Anne would be via Zoom, and Dr. Yu Ma. She's the lead or the head of the Germplasm Center at OSU. I think I talked about that last month. Yeah, she said whenever we want to come by, we can schedule a time with her and visit, no problem. And then I was going to do a separate interview with her for our for the group at wide, but also YouTube, just so we can have like a repository of like things we've learned over time.
Now, the germplasm, is that gonna be during a regular meeting, or is that gonna be on a different day, or because shouldn't we get that either set up soon before all the sales go on, like maybe sometime in March?
Or I don't see why it used to be before this.
Why would it have to be for the sale?
Well, I'm just thinking of what's going on with the sale meeting for repotting, or, I guess the question is it going to be during the meeting, or is it going to be separate?
It's not going to be a during meeting
Okay.
thing. So that's something I'm gonna have select dates,
Okay.
and then
So kind of like a field trip.
yes, exactly. Yeah, it's an extra meeting thing.
Okay.
So it's not going to take place at one of these.
Okay.
It's going to be a fun thing. There you go.
Yeah.
Don't really have time for the stuff I was going to do, but
What's there? You had it and then it disappeared.
okay, I see here. Okay, cool. So I had this thing, but I'll probably just make a video or something, or I'll do a Zoom thing some later time. Not super important, but primarily is setting up for spring with new begonias versus existing begonias, how to bring your begonias out of hybrid, or not hybrid, hibernation, there you go. And taking care of understanding the where you're buying your begonias from and how to transition to your environment via soil and light and stuff like that. That's what I was going to do, but that's like an hour.
Do you want to? I don't know if you have something planned for next meeting, but do you want to do the presentation next meeting? And I think any future sales fundraising, we can just meet as a subcommittee to discuss.
Yeah, I mean, that you can also just do via Zoom. That doesn't, we don't have to be in person to do that.
That's what I'm saying, just like as a subcommittee, we can just figure out the rest of the details for the sale if you want to do a bigger presentation fund meeting next time.
Yeah, sure. That's fine. That's actually kind of, I'll just go through my materials and stuff I brought. So my begonias, in general, I use certain ingredients. I just brought some samples, it's not important. Because I'm not going to be actually doing this. Copper fungicide. So you're in the Orchid Society, right? Mm-hmm. The Orchid Society. I found out about garlic water the other day. Heard about that?
A lot of the stuff that they have on the internet about garlic stuff is totally fake when it comes to plants.
No, so it's not for the plant.
Okay.
It's getting rid of powdery mildew.
That I wouldn't be surprised, but anything like that you pour into the plants and stuff.
No.
I mean, garlic's has antibacterial.
Yes, it also has sulfur, which is exactly what this is, and they sell this, but you don't have. Well, you do.
Well, no, that's not salt because they sell a separate.
Well, okay, I'm sorry, it's copper, but they also have sulfur.
Which I use the sulfur.
Oh well, no, this is what they suggest for begonias. But I was specifically speaking on the garlic stuff. I haven't gotten to try it yet, but I am because I do have a couple of begonias with powdery mildew.
I know for mealybugs and scale, it's
Yes.
a mixture of 409, believe it or not.
Well, there's some people who swear on spraying with milk for powdery mildew too, but
It's a similar concept.
I don't know what the compound in milk is. It's just like it works.
Yeah, so it was a combination. What I understood from the person I was watching, it was the garlic contains the sulfur part of it, and then you add some kind of like plant-ish safe soap, so like an insecticidal soap, so that way it'll stick to the actual plant itself and not just fall off immediately. That way you get the sulfur to stick to the plant and the powdery mildew for however long you need it, and just wash it off. Though now your house smells like garlic, so there's that trade-off.
Yeah, so I use the salt powder and then your hands like smell like sulfur and everything.
Yeah. So that's just something I was thinking about recently. Do with that whatever you will, but I do plan on testing that out. And then
Jeremy can post the mix on the Facebook page, and then maybe some of us can try it out. And
Sure.
We can report back on the Facebook page. It would be kind of a fun thing. Maybe it's other people are having problems.
yeah, no, definitely. I need to go back and write it down. I haven't written it down yet, but yeah. Well, this is David's Acres. I was gonna repot this into some stuff, but I don't have the time. So this is Begonia Carol Knight, some Rex cultivar. Seems cool. I don't know. I don't have anything to say on that. But does anybody still have this? Okay.
So I do notice, I think there is something with the light,
Okay.
but I have some in bubbles that are like next to a window, so the only light they're getting is natural light. Those don't seem to be affected in the bubbles, but the ones under grow lights are kind of growing yellowish in the bubbles.
Yes. So that's one of the things that I wanted to go over. Actually, go here.
I took mine all out of the terrarium and put them in the clay box, and then I threw them back in there, and they're like happy as little clams.
Are they under natural light or the grow lights?
So.
In a south-facing window, but it has.
Yeah, because like the Blanky modeled and then the Cleopatra I have in the bowls are your grow lights, and those are like really yellow. They look like sun stressed, whereas like as others.
Needed for fertilizer, because I've got mine in the lights and it's so happy.
They're the ones we put in here. I know there's like the limestone chips in there because they like limestone. I mean, I don't really fertilize them because I haven't needed to water them much. I don't know if it's. I mean, my other ones have like barely been fertilized. And they're
I
fine.
have some of the same, I have them in the domes. I don't have any in the bowls right now because I took them out and potted them, but same thing, I have some of the same plant and some are real yellow, and then 2 domes down, it's not real yellow. So I'm trying to figure out if I might be doing something different with the fertilizer, or like you said, maybe that one's getting more light.
Are you
Because
under
that's
like fluorescent lights or LED?
They're under LED grow light, like plant specific grow lights. But Darren had mentioned like there's something with the plastic that it might be blocking a certain wavelength. And that's affecting it.
Yeah, so that is why, so like, that's why you had those results in natural light, because it's so much stronger that it's just going right through it versus a LED light, which probably has trouble penetrating the bulb. Which is why I brought these. So this plant.
Because those are originally created for food bowls, so it's just a plastic that happens to block some UV.
Yeah,
Whereas if you bought glass obviously doesn't block anything unless it's treated.
Yeah.
But like if you get like those domes that are specifically for growing plants, they're not gonna block the UV
correct.
or filter.
Yeah, I just wanted to point out with this, you can see like it's kind of dull and lackluster. Like it's still green, it's not dying or anything, but this is actually cutting from this. This is exactly the same plant. This one I let it dry out.
I was gonna say like the leaves like are.
Yeah.
But they are more shiny areas, like I can see.
Yeah, so like these are literally sitting this far apart under the same grow
It's got
light.
more red.
Yeah. So like this is a little bit, yes. Yeah, feel free to come up.
Oh, did you have a Blanky model?
Yes, that did not
There?
do well. Yeah, it's right here.
No. Yeah, that's what mine's.
I've
It's
never.
probably too wet for it because I think they like it drier.
I don't think so. I don't remember.
I think we had charcoal in this. We were limited, I think, on charcoal, so I don't know if we did a layer, if we just mixed it in with the soil, I think.
Yeah, there's one that I didn't see that.
And what kind of soil did you use?
It was Pro Mix as the base. We had some other. Oh, that's the. And how long was it?
Almost a year now.
Last summer. That's the Ningling Arts start form.
Maybe he's,
Yeah, so that's been in there for that long. But yeah, so like you can see that
How long has this been potted?
that's been potted longer than this. Because I actually broke off a piece and just threw it in there and grew it like that. But you can also see like as this has gotten older, it's kind of developed a like hard stem down here, but this doesn't. Just because it's probably so wet all the time, it doesn't need to do that.
It's probably rooting.
Well, and this one's younger too. That's,
Yeah, and it's rooting all along, right? And they did really well. But I don't.
Yeah, so like that's just something I've noticed for doing these or since we did those terrariums.
I did want to let the club know that May 4th and 5th, the Columbus African Violet Society is having a show. And you could enter terrariums, you just have to become a member of that society to enter. And it's, I don't know, 15 or 20 bucks. But then you can buy an African violet to put into your terrarium. And then you can show, they have terrarium as part of their show. So it's kind of it'd be kind of a fun thing.
I was something like the Orchid Society. They're like, oh, you can enter our show, but there has to be an orchid. It was kind of confusing. I'm like, okay, so just go buy a $10 one from Trader Joe's and stick it in.
Well, the African Violet Society, they'll have vendors there and you can buy one and put it in their design classes. You don't actually have to be the person growing the African violet. So you can buy them and put them in. So it's kind of if the club wanted to do something like that, it's it's a really cool thing. And then there's more shows in the fall that will have the same sort of thing to it. But it's all the different begonias and stuff would be a great way to get people interested in begonias. And then we could say, hey, well, we sell these at the, in the spring.
Yeah.
And we can get people interested because a lot of the begonias gives the texture and the different types of foliage that they want in a very interesting terrarium. But they have some really cool videos on the judging that teach you about making a terrarium and height and how to.
Yeah, that's one thing I would like, if we could find someone who could do it, it'd probably be at the Zoom or whatever, like teach us how to select and grow begonias for show and like how to show begonias, because I've never been involved. I mean, I can probably, Sally Seville might know someone, or I can reach out to the Dallas Fort Worth branch. I
So
don't
this,
know.
this is the same plant as,
Yes.
Yes.
This is a cutting from this plant.
So interesting.
the leaves look entirely different.
Yeah. Well, part of that is also I did let it dry out a little bit last year,
Yeah,
but there is no cover over this. This is just regular humidity.
no, because they were doing well. It was the leaf cuttings that I had.
Which-
They were doing
In
well
our,
first, and
in
then
our
like a
humble
month
opinion,
later,
which is
like,
the healthier one.
water this a little, and then
It
like.
depends. I personally like this one better.
Yeah, they're
half
both-
them
They both
I mean,
are
it's
growing
got
well
multi
together.
leaves, I mean, it doesn't make sense.
before, yeah.
Well, because I was wondering if it was the trees themselves or if it was.
No, because they've been doing fine for like a month and.
Yeah, it's my whole thing is kind of
It's mine.
observing and noticing the complexity
Extra
of plants,
water.
because that's what really interests me. I don't know what all this other stuff is.
It's a plant.
Yeah, 'cause this is
Yeah,
supposed, mine died. My whole
Those
bubble just
survived
collapsed.
the overwater.
Oh, did it really?
Yeah.
Now, the plant that everyone said, and I haven't sounded anything.
We're
about
just
this,
starting.
The plant,
Like,
yeah,
you know,
that everyone said,
don't
oh,
ripe
grows like
them
a
so that
weed.
like the leaf melted, but like.
it's like just
there's
sitting there, it looks like
cut
it's 3
Same
leaves.
with the Hepsileas.
Then the other one.
Those are like the only two that,
Yeah,
and then I got the
unidentified, and they had numbers.
Schmidianas.
I had
'cause that was a
one
bigger.
leaf left on one, and I didn't think there was
then my
anything left on the
luxuriance
other one. I planted them
and
in
the
little tiny pots,
staples are
put them back in there.
fine.
They are thriving. And then the challenge plant
Yeah.
is like,
Yeah, mine
exploding.
is going like crazy.
Mine's still
too.
little,
and
and
it's
I
not-
haven't killed it, and it's.
If you pot it up a little, it'll.
It's
But it
continuously
should,
flowering.
but like once it starts flowering,
But it's
then
like
it's
4
not
times the
gonna-
size. Is yours like 4 times? Mine's
Mine
like,
is like.
so it was like
I
this
would
big when we
want
got it, right?
Yeah, did you
This big.
repot it?
I put it into a terrarium and it's like this big and blooming like
It
crazy.
just keeps
Yeah.
flowering.
Yeah, it's,
Yeah,
I really
repot.
like it.
I didn't repot it either, it's in there with the
I have
other
an older
stuff. and
one, because I.
It's
I'm
happy.
high humidity friend that needed some rehabbing, and that one kind of took over, so I think that's why he's still little.
Because I actually think that one would be good for a terrarium project that you said.
What did you-
074? What did you say? U074?
Yeah,
Yeah, because it's so happy.
What was the one that you said that grows like a weed, and you brought in a bunch of cuttings?
So it's just,
Yeah, it's just sitting there like half dead.
it does in my one terrarium, it does, it's kind of a drier, the
Okay,
soil is
yeah.
drier, it likes the limes, in the wild, they kind of grow on granite limestone rocks. And they, well, like I said, my one I put in the bowl like this is not doing well, which I don't know if it's because of the light, whereas like the original mother plant, I have a glass, like converted aquarium, that's where it just like grows like a weed. I mean, it's high humidity, but like the soil, I don't keep super wet.
I've seen, had a couple of mine rot out, they got
Bit
too
too wet, that's what I'm thinking.
But I have, the one that's doing best is kind of stuck in a corner.
Because I think they're in the wild, they're semi-epiphytic or lithophytic, where they grow on rocks, so they don't.
Okay, I'll
like
pull it
a-
out
like
there and see,
a lot of
'cause
water.
it's definitely not happy. It's still got 3 leaves, but it's not happy.
They like the limestone, or I think it's like granite in the Philippines, but it's similar. They like the mineral that's, and they'll go through a dormant period there during the dry season.
Except
why you're here.
I love unusual leaves.
Well, and in May, I'm gonna try to enter some stuff in that May, it's here in Columbus. In
For the
that-
violet show.
In that,
sale.
it's an African violet show. And they have a sale too always,
Yeah.
but.
Do you know where it's at?
It's in a church on off
It's a church.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
you know.
I
I
have
think
the
I saw it
address.
recently posted on Facebook, someone that's been going around on
Yeah.
groups.
And if
Mouse
anyone else
question.
would like to like mess around with it, I can send you some stuff and I can help you get I have violets blooming, but I don't know if I'll have them blooming
a
at
couple
that time.
striped carpets, but I don't have any actually.
They have their,
Sure,
they show them too.
You can enter the show,
Okay.
purpose in the show too,
Yeah.
but that would also be a good way for us to get into showing our plants too and like some learning. It's, they're a very nice club and they're into like teaching people a lot.
Oh, you were trying to make
about
like
how to
a
show. So, like,
reservoir
they're going
Uh,
through a series right
that's
now
a
on how to
support.
show.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah,
so I
so
think it's kind of cool.
it didn't really work.
But
It's
I can
fine.
send you links on what they look at in the terrarium and everything, and it's, you can enter as many as you want. Like I said, you don't have to grow the African violet, but I do think it has to be a named one.
Okay.
So it has to be one of the show, like a show quality.
Yeah, because that's what I was wondering, the American Begonia Society shows, like, how long, like, do you have to grow that plant from yourself, or like, how long does the plant have to be in your care to like, because you can't just like, you can't just buy something from Steve's Leaves and then like a month
With the
later.
Orchid Society, our rule is 6 months.
I think it has to be something says 2 months to me. I think it has to be in your
2
care
or
for 2
6
months
months.
or something like that, but it has to be in your care for a certain amount of time.
Because I mean, I'd be interested in my presentation, who's like, you know, like, this is how you select a good plant, and this is how you groom it for the next few months for show. This is what they're judged on.
But this is definitely a good thing for us to
I
get
got a
in touch
little
with your
fail.
society and get
Fail.
a sample show schedule from one of the other clubs that's doing a show. And
And
then
then
Try to put one on just within our club, just to see how, you know,
because
get
they were
started
kind of
doing that,
appalled
because you
because
truly
I
want to get
friends, you know.
shows.
So I got to name it.
Yeah. Well, then we need judges, which I don't think, which if you want like an ABS
Yeah.
certified or which, I don't know if there's any in Ohio, it's like, then we have to pay to like fly one in or
Yeah.
something for a
It's
show.
kind of cool though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think if we do it, it'd just be like
If you went
a,
on and watched a show.
whatever peer judge or just,
I
But
would,
it
I
was-
would ask around.
it really
Is he still have it?
Bryce is here and he's big on the
Deadline,
Vegetarian
Well,
Society.
we, I got divorced.
And there's a lot of people that cross over for Gesneriads that are going as Gesneriads. Because when I went to sales show there, they had so many Gesneriads, that's crazy. They were showing Epicias and all kinds of stuff.
Okay.
So.
I mean, or we could always like ask Larry from My Green Obsession and Dave. Did he finally retire from Baker's Acres?
Did he? I
Did
don't
he?
know.
Because I thought then like he wasn't maybe, I don't know. But like they might be good people, like if we were to have like a small show, like,
Well, it'd be interesting just to find out what you need to do, so if you
Yeah.
have somebody who knows, who's
So
done
let's-
showing with begonias.
We should also try to do the show judging over Zoom for our internal show, before we have an external show and a big like intro, all that stuff.
Yeah.
We could ask one of the judges that's interested in getting other people started judging to judge our plants over Zoom.
Are there
Or give us
any-
pointers as to what you would be
Judges
looking
on
at and what it would be
I
doing.
think so, because
I think
We
all the
haven't been
people
at
in Cali are-
club in a while. They're all in like California, Florida, Texas, maybe some on the East Coast.
Because I know the journal's so nice to read, it's just nice, but they had a whole judging class at the National Convention. Did you go to some of the National Convention?
I haven't been to any of the conventions.
I mean, it just, I don't know what you look for to judge a begonia. I mean, I know.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of curious, like, how do you?
Judge an orchid, but I don't know what you need to do to, and that's, believe it or not, a 6 to 7 year learning curve before you get credit to judge.
Yeah, that's how
Really?
societies
Oh,
are,
yeah.
yeah, that's how societies are gonna lose all the
Jeez.
judges, because the American, Irish Society is the same way.
Well, yeah, I'm sure they're all in their
Everyone's-
sixties and
And
seventies
everyone's
now.
80, right? And
Yeah.
now nobody wants to take 7 classes to become a
Well, it's not
judge.
7 classes, it's years.
Yeah, and then you have to become a
Classes.
junior club and cert, and I'm like, you're gonna lose all of your people doing something like that. You need to get them so that it's in, you know, in there and doing stuff.
Yeah, so just an observation, take it for what you will. So next time, I'm gonna try and bring a smaller begonia, because I didn't bring it very time.
What do you think of programming for next time? Is there stuff you want us to bring into?
Yeah, I mean, if y'all ever wanna bring off something, bring out.
Well,
bring
if like
something-
bring it on with a theme or whatever the.
Yeah, I haven't planned out the next month yet, but,
Well, let us know if you need.
yeah, just like in general, if you ever like, oh, I got this begonia recently, I want to talk about it really quick. No problem, I can fit it to the schedule.
So we can, I think we did anonymity.
Not humidity specifically. I think it's the bowl because the bowl reflects UV light, so it might be reflecting certain types of light, and it's
So the
plants.
humidity inside the bowl is the same as the humidity that one takes?
No. This is much higher.
Okay.
It's
Because
just
it looks like the shiny stuff on there is due to a cuticle of some sort versus the non-cuticleness on that one.
yeah. That's
And that would be
primarily the
harmful.
light.
And that would be also
To
then
preserve
retain,
water.
yeah, also to preserve the water. So like, I'm wondering if this
And
doesn't
some-
have the cuticle and stuff because it doesn't have to have the.
That's possible.
Some begonias also, the leaves do get glossy when they're like really, really dehydrated, like dehydration.
So like, it's interesting because like at the begonia greenhouse in Fort Worth, the ones that are out in the greenhouse look like this.
But the
right?
greenhouse conditions there are almost the humidity of this.
Yeah, so like this, I moved it around a couple times, but so like this all in that same spot, like these really tall places or these tall stems, these all grew right next to that because that's when I was watering it. So they just grew straight up towards the light. So like the stuff at the bottom, well, I took off a lot of the dried out stuff, so that's mostly gone.
So a lot of mine are glass, all of my containers are glass.
Right,
And
yeah.
if they don't have a lid, I just stretch them over the top.
So I've got some.
So,
Yeah, I have I converted those big, what was it called, that you put on top of the dresser.
curio cabinet, the
Yeah.
hutch, the hutch.
Yeah, the hutch. I have like this big 6 foot by 4 foot hutch that I converted into like a little begonia cherry. But it's wood, so we'll see how long it lasts.
Yeah.
There's a
I
bowl
keep-
about that size that you can just cover, like what I do is I cover it with saran wrap real tight, and then I run a blade around the edge, and it's like, you can't even tell there's a lid.
Well, there's also like gardening plastic cloches, domes that some people have found to fit over, and like I think even Dollar General had them. I've never been able to find them, but I've heard that they've had them sometimes. And I think they're the same diameter. They just happen to be, or you can order some online from Garden. They're kind of like $10 each. I don't know, but like I've seen, because I know at the Fort Worth Begonia Bank, they do have some of their species. They have it in a regular bowl like this, but then they have like the plastic cloche cover on top for taller
Yeah.
and stuff.
For your hutch, you can get the spray latex and do the inside of all that.
Oh, it's way too late at this point. It's been there for a year
It's been filled.
Yeah.
It's just, I know several people that that's what they've done, to convert their wood. They get the white color spray text, like, it's just, yeah, it's the one that's, you see the infomercials on where they take a screen and spray it and then turn it into a boat and then paddle around with it. It works. I actually use it outside for some of the metal pieces that are falling apart and I need to hold a little bit more water in. And it's pretty nice stuff. You just spray it on. It's waterproof and all that stuff.
When we went to the greenhouse on a field trip, he had those cases he had for his terrarium, the frogs in them. They were-
Oh, right.
I wonder what they cost. They were
Yeah.
beautiful. I mean, he just.
Well, that's what I was potentially I could do because I want to convert some aquariums into the upright terrariums and like
Have you,
do a demo of doing like
do you watch Circa Design?
that's
I like
yeah
that
that's
stuff.
what I'm,
Yeah, he uses like the IKEA glass shelving and stuff for a lot of his aquariums now that he builds himself.
well I was looking at getting acrylic or what's plexi like really thin acrylic plexiglass. But yeah, that plastic,
Yeah.
and I found it's all kind of like in my Amazon shop cart, and I even found self-adhesive like the plastic clear hinges. Cause like the hinge part was like, oh, this is getting a little technical, but then I found these like plastic ones on Amazon. I'm like, oh, those should hold up. So I think I haven't figured out. So I'm like trying to find some cheap 10-gallon aquariums like